There are two rules of thumb as far as I'm concerned when it comes to betting college football. First of all, let's talk about a busy Saturday card. I've always said that you always concentrate the most where the odds makers concentrate the least. So on a Saturday, you look for those under the radar games. You don't find value on the Alabama Florida State games, okay? The big marquee games, they always have the sharpest lines. No, you look for the under the radar games, the games that nobody really cares about, because generally you're going to find the softest numbers and you're going to find the most value in those games. Those are the easiest games, and you find them on the cards that you have 50 games. They're easy to find. Then, on game days like tonight, where you have these big double-digit spreads on just about every single game, a lot of people will say, oh, you just can't bet these games. Well, why not? It's no different than Alabama and Florida State. There are two teams playing. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, somebody's going to cover, somebody's not. It's a 50-50 betting proposition. You're just going to narrow down the card, and the same thing applies. You find that one favorite or that one underdog that's going to cover. And it's actually just as easy, if not easier, than finding a game on that big 50-game card on a Saturday, because on a card like tonight, you've got a handful of games. You've only got to find that one game and do your research. So, those are the two rules of thumb that I always apply to college football. Now, the other thing that always applies is, I've always said, no matter the sport, no matter the season, the first 3 weeks, you and I always have the edge over the odds makers. Yeah, because they don't know anything more about these teams than you or I the opening 3 weeks of the season. Sure, they can watch the spring game, they can read all the practice notes, just like I am, reading from the beat reporters. Sure, they can follow that. But can they follow it for every single team? No, they cannot. So we have the advantage over the odds makers the first 3 weeks of every single season, every single sport. And that's why it's so important to come out of the gates and build that bankroll. Hey everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Thursday video report. Now, I kicked off the college football season great fashion on Saturday. Cashed in with my 15-dime opening best bet game of the year play for the 8th time in 11 seasons. Well, actually 8, 3, and 1, because there was a push along the way over the past 12 years, as I gave you Colorado State, a 4-point favorite at home, and they rolled 58-27 over Oregon State. And you got that winner as the half-price play of the day on Saturday. And then here on the video report, I gave you Hawaii, a 4-point underdog that won outright in the final minute at Massachusetts. And I also told you to be very leery of ever betting Charlie Strong in his debut, of course, with, South Florida, as a double-digit chalk at San Jose State. And, of course, what happens, the Bulls fall down early, 16-0, come back, but don't get the cover against a bad San Jose State team. So it was a great debut, and tonight I'm coming back with another 15-dime best bet. This time it's going to be your Thursday night opening college blowout of the year, because I feel that one of these favorites tonight is severely underpriced. And it's going to be another 15-dime best bet, and it's going to be another half-price play of the day release. Because I've always felt that you don't have to bet and spend big money in order to make big money. So it's the half-price play of the day, and the coupon code is BLOWOUT, and all your other discounts, etc., can be found over on the homepage. Now, before I get to your complimentary plan, I'm going to talk about the game between Arizona State and New Mexico State, because I know a lot of you out there, you just couldn't possibly get through the rest of your day without knowing the breakdown of that game between the Sun Devils and the Aggies. Listen, as I told you yesterday, I'm going to tell you again today, in case you didn't watch yesterday's video report, because again, I know some of you can't get through a day without watching these video reports. I like to reward those of you that have been playing throughout the baseball season, because I understand that a lot of you, like me, love betting baseball. It's the easiest sport to make money in. And a lot of people don't bet baseball, and they will be coming back to the fold next Thursday when the NFL season kicks off. But it's my way of rewarding you for your patronage and your loyalty. So today, again, the single biggest discount of the entire year is available. 30% off your total purchase price, and that's a single usage coupon that's good for any combination of picks and or packages. If you haven't already been involved in a long-term package with a handicapper, You can use it to extend it out further with your package. So let's say you have 10 days left with a particular handicapper. You want to buy another 30-day package that'll give you 40 days. You can extend it out. If you have an instant rebate, that's applicable as well. Again, 30% off. It's the single biggest discount of the entire year. I do it 2 times, right at the beginning of summer and right now before Labor Day. It's available today to take advantage of it. Also, today marks an exit of one handicapper, an entrance of another one, Brad Wilton. When I added him to the website here right before the Super Bowl 2.5 years ago, he had a phenomenal 18 to 20 month run when he joined the site. Past 8 months has just been horrendous, just horrendous. I mean, the first 18 to 20 months, he was phenomenal. I mean, epic proportions, losing the past 8 months. His contract was up today, and I didn't renew it. And I decided to add a new guy to the site here, a guy by the name of Tommy Brunson, who is a character, to say the least. A quick thing about Tommy Brunson: Anthony Red has known this guy. He's from Vegas. Anthony Red met him, introduced him to Steve. Steve wanted me to meet him. So we go to the M Resort, which is where Anthony Red always hangs out at the sports book there. So it's myself, Anthony Red, Steve Budin, Shawn Michaels, and myself. Okay. Now, you've seen Anthony Red at the site. You've seen some of his videos. You've seen Steve. You know how Steve likes to talk. You see me. And Shawn Michaels is he's in the financial services business. So he's a buttoned-down, kind of quiet, conservative guy. And Shawn and I are very good friends. So you can imagine the 5 of us at the table, okay? Anthony is, well, A-Red is A-Red. Steve, you can't get a word in sideways. And when you do try to talk, he's always constantly interrupting you. Trust me, I do TV shows with Steve. It's a nightmare sometimes. I can't even get a sentence done, complete, because he's always interrupting me. And Tommy Brunson is one of these guys who, he thinks everything that comes out of his mouth is funny. I mean, he's another one. He's like an impish jokester. I can't, impish, that's a great word. A nice guy, funny guy. He thinks he's funny. I'm not sure he's always funny. And Shawn and I are both sitting there going, what did we walk into? This is like an episode out of the Twilight Zone. But he's a good handicapper. I've seen his work. So Steve said, let's add him to the site. We added him to the site. It'll be interesting. I don't want to go to lunch with the guy again. That was a lunch that I just wanted to, I think Shawn and I couldn't wait to escape. God bless him. We gave him a shot at the site. Let's see how he does. He's certainly a character. That's all I will say here. Okay, let's get to your complimentary play. I'm actually in Chandler, Arizona, and I am leaving today. I was supposed to leave tomorrow. I actually was offered tickets by a friend out here to go to the Arizona State game tonight. Sun Devil Stadium, very cool place, except today. It's 106 degrees here. I mean, even if I was not leaving today, the last place you would find me is sitting at the damn Sun Devil Stadium tonight, which is a gorgeous place. You know, with the mountains behind it, Rio Salado Parkway there, down on Mill Avenue, off the campus at Arizona State. It's a really cool vibe. The campus itself, it's like going to Temple University. Instead of being in North Philly, it's in Temple, Arizona. It's a concrete jungle. But Sun Devil Stadium, they renovated a couple years. It's cool. But it's hot as hell. The last place I'm going to be is sitting down and watching a damn football game, sitting outside when it's 101 degrees at kickoff. I ain't going, even if I was here tonight. But I'm like 10 minutes away. I'm going to be driving by. I want to go to the airport as soon as I'm done this video report. But Arizona State, this is a big season for Todd Graham. He is under a lot of pressure to win here because Arizona State, by injury, by lack of talent, they have sucked the last couple of years. Worst pass defense in the country the last 2 seasons. Last year gave up 357.2 yards a game, 33 touchdown pass defense allowed last year. Just had 9 interceptions. Have an inexperienced secondary. They went out and they got Phil Bennett. Longtime defensive coordinators, coached in a lot of places. Matter of fact, was at Baylor, his most recent stop. Brought him in here. But they have more problems. Their run defense, non-existent as well. Gave up 4.9 yards a carry a year ago. Arizona State last year allowed an average of almost 7.1 yards per play. Think about that number. First and 10 turned into second and 3. That's a problem. The only team worse in all of Division I ball last year was Rice. That's how bad Arizona State's defense. And that's one of the reasons Todd Graham was on the hot seat. Now, New Mexico State comes in here, and it's pretty much a veteran team. They've got 11 of their top 12 tacklers back. But that doesn't mean much because the Aggies aren't that good defensively either. They don't have much of a pass rush. Manny Wilkins is going to be the starting quarterback for Arizona State. He's healthy. He's a decent passer, pretty good rusher. But where Arizona State has an advantage here is that they are, by nature, being from the Pac-12 as opposed to our New Mexico State being in its final season in the Sun Belt. Arizona State is a bigger, more physical team. So Arizona State has the size advantage. They have the strength advantage. You know, this New Mexico State team went 3-9 last year. Now, they did upset New Mexico, but that's a big rivalry game, obviously. Their other ones came against UL Lafayette and Texas State. They have a veteran returning starter at quarterback in Tyler Rogers. They have a veteran returning running back in Larry Rose III. But they lost the nation's leading tackler from a year ago. They lost their two best wide receivers. And you've got an Arizona State team that has something to prove. And remember, this is an Arizona State team that has been a slow starter the last couple of years. Last year, 44-13, they beat Northern Arizona in the opener. It was a 10-3 game at halftime. 2 years ago, they were playing Cal Poly, for Christ's sake. It was 21-21 after 3 quarters before they finally broke through and won the game by 2 touchdowns. They've got to, I think, come out with an impressive effort to at least keep the Wolves off of Todd Graham here for at least a few weeks. This is a team that I think, because they have a very favorable schedule, I believe they only have 4 Pac-12 road games this year, I think they can possibly win 8 games, and they better win at least 8 games this season. This New Mexico State defense allowed over 38 points a game last year. They only had 11 sacks last year. As I told you, they have a very weak front four. Arizona State has a big offensive line, inexperienced but big. They have 2 senior returning running backs that are very talented. I do believe that New Mexico State can be run on. New Mexico State's defense allowed almost 47% on third down conversions a year ago. They allowed 31 rushing TDs a year ago. They only had 11 sacks. So I'm going to go with Arizona State. I'm willing to lay the 22.5 points here in this game. I think a lot of people think New Mexico State will put a lot of points on the board against Arizona State's defense. I just think this is going to be one of those games. It's going to be like 55-21. You know, it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think Arizona State is going to pull away and get the cover in this one. And listen, Arizona State's last win was way back on October 8th against UCLA a year ago. They closed last season with 6 straight losses. So Arizona State's going to get the win, get the cover, and that's the game that I'm going to roll with today for your complimentary play. Good luck, guys, and tomorrow we'll do this one more time.